Total lunar eclipse photo, above, taken in 2004 by Fred Espenac. The blue moon, second of two moons in one calendar month, will pass through the Earth's shadow on January 31, 2018, to give us a total lunar eclipse. Totality, when the moon will be entirely inside the Earth's dark umbral shadow, will last a bit more than 1¼ hours. The January 31st moon is also the third in a series of 3 straight moon supermoons, that is, superclose moons. It's the first of 2 blue moons in 2018. So it's not just a lunar eclipse, or a blue moon, or a supermoon. It's all 3. A super blue moon eclipse. Is it the first blue moon total eclipse in 150 years, as some social media memes are now claiming? It is, if you're not considering the whole world, but only the Americas. More about that below. Important. If you live in North America or the Hawaiian Islands, this lunar eclipse will be visible in your sky before sunrise on January 31st. On the other hand, if you live in the Middle East, Asia, Indonesia, Australia and New Zealand, this lunar eclipse will happen in the evening hours after sunset on January 31st. Follow the links below to learn eclipse times and more eclipse times in Universal Time. Eclipse times for North American time zones. Eclipse calculators provide eclipse times for your sky. First blue moon total eclipse in 150 years? Well, who will see a partial lunar eclipse? What causes a lunar eclipse? January 31st is first of 2 blue moons in 2018 worldwide, mapped via the U.S. Naval Observatory, showing the day and night sides of Earth at the instant of the greatest eclipse. 2018 January 31st at 13:30 UTC. Greatest eclipse happens at the same instant worldwide. You must be on the night side of the world to witness it. The shadow line at the left depicts sunrise moonset January 31st, and the shadow line at right represents sunset moonrise January 31st. Since the total eclipse lasts more than 1 hour, if you live somewhat east-right of the sunrise line, you can still catch a total or partial eclipse low in the west before sunrise and before greatest eclipse. Or if you live somewhat west-left of the sunset line, you can still catch a total eclipse low in the east after sunset and after greatest eclipse. Click here for a more detailed chart. Eclipse times in Universal Time. Partial umbral eclipse begins 11:48 Universal Time at total eclipse begins 12:52 at greatest eclipse 13:30 at total eclipse ends 14:08 at partial umbral eclipse ends 15:11 at. How do I translate Universal Time to my time? Eclipse times for North American time zones. Eastern Standard Time January 31, 2018 partial umbral eclipse begins 6:48 a.m. Est moon sets before start of total eclipse. Central Standard Time January 31, 2018 partial umbral eclipse begins 5:48 a.m. CST total eclipse begins 6:52 a.m. CDT moon may set before totality ends. Mountain Standard Time January 31, 2018 partial umbral eclipse begins 4:48 a.m. MST total eclipse begins 5:52 a.m. MST greatest eclipse 6:30 a.m. MST total eclipse ends 7:08 a.m. MST moon sets before end of partial umbral eclipse. Pacific Standard Time January 31, 2018 partial umbral eclipse begins 3:48 a.m. PST total eclipse begins 4:52 a.m. PST greatest eclipse 5:30 a.m. PST total eclipse ends 6:08 a.m. PST partial umbral eclipse ends 7:11 a.m. PST moon may set before end of partial umbral eclipse. Alaskan Standard Time January 31, 2018 partial umbral eclipse begins 2:48 a.m. AKST total eclipse begins 3:52 a.m. AKST greatest eclipse 4:30 a.m. AKST total eclipse ends 5:08 a.m. AKST partial umbral eclipse ends 6:11 a.m. AKST Hawaii Aleutian Standard Time January 31, 2018 partial umbral eclipse begins 1:48 a.m. HAST total eclipse begins 2:52 a.m. HAST greatest eclipse 3:30 a.m. HAST total eclipse ends 4:08 a.m. HAST partial umbral eclipse ends 5:11 a.m. HAST eclipse calculators provide eclipse times for your sky. Remember, you have to be on the night side of Earth while the lunar eclipse is taking place to witness this great natural phenomenon. Of course, people around the globe want to know whether the eclipse is visible from their part of the world and at what time. To find out the local time of the greatest eclipse in your sky, click on this eclipse calculator and put in the name of a city near you. No time conversion is necessary for this eclipse calculator or the one below because the eclipse times are given in local time. Eclipse computer via the U.S. Naval Observatory animation of the 2018 January 31st total lunar eclipse. The moon travels eastward through the Earth's penumbra, light outside shadow and umbra dark inner shadow. The yellow line depicts the ecliptic, Earth's orbital plane. Although the moon, at least in part, spends a little over 3 and 13 hours within the umbra, it is only totally submerged in the umbra dark shadow for about 1 and 14 hours. In any umbral lunar eclipse, the moon always passes through Earth's very light penumbral shadow before and after its journey through the dark umbral shadow. First blue moon total eclipse in 150 years? Well, it depends on where you live. Yes, we've seen the social media memes going around suggesting this is the first blue moon total eclipse in 150 years. But the meme is true only for time zones in and around the Americas, not for the rest of the world. The last time that we had a blue moon total lunar eclipse, reckoning in world time UTC, or GMT, was December 30, 1982. Full moon 1982 December 1st at 0021 UTC. Full moon 1982 December 30th at 11:33 UTC. Total lunar eclipse that wasn't a blue moon eclipse for the Americas, however. First, the moon previous to the total lunar eclipse fell on November 30th, not December 1st. Before that, there was a blue moon total lunar eclipse for the world's eastern hemisphere, Asia, Indonesia, Australia and New Zealand on December 30th, 1963. Full moon 1963 November 30th at 2354 UTC. Full moon 1963 December 30th at 11:04 UTC. Total lunar eclipse. Okay, now, finally we get to it. Before that, in late March 1866, there was a blue moon total lunar eclipse for North and South American time zones. Full moon 1866 March 1st at 11:52 UTC. Full moon 1866 March 31st at 432 UTC. Total lunar eclipse. By the way, the next blue moon total lunar eclipse will happen on December 31st, 2028. Source: Moon Phases by Fred Espenac. Who will see a partial lunar eclipse? A partial lunar eclipse precedes the total eclipse by a little over 1 hour, and follows totality for a little over 1 hour. So, from start to finish, the moon takes 3 hours and 23 minutes to totally cross Earth's dark umbral shadow. Eastern North America can see beginning stages of the partial umbral eclipse low in the west before sunrise January 31st, whereas portions of the Middle East and for Eastern Europe can view the ending stages of the partial umbral eclipse low in the east after sunset January 31st. South America, most of Europe and Africa won't be able to see this eclipse. See worldwide map below. Incidentally, a very light penumbral eclipse comes before and after the dark umbral stage of the lunar eclipse. But this sort of eclipse is so faint that many people won't even notice it. The penumbral eclipse would be more fun to watch from the moon, where it would be seen as a partial eclipse of the sun. Worldwide map of the 2018 January 31st total lunar eclipse. View larger. Need help with the above map? Courtesy of eclipsewise.com. Every place in white sees the whole eclipse from start to finish, whereas every place in black misses out entirely. Let eclipsewise.com by the eclipse master Fred Espenac walk you through the key to lunar eclipse figures. See less complicated map below. Day and night sides of Earth at greatest total eclipse. Day and night sides of Earth at greatest eclipse 1330 at. The shadow line at left, running through North America, depicts sunrise moonset. The shadow line at right, running through for Eastern Europe and far western Asia, depicts sunset moonrise. Image credit Earth view. What causes a lunar eclipse? A lunar eclipse can only happen at moon. Only then is it possible for the moon to be directly opposite the sun in our sky, and to pass into the Earth's dark umbral shadow. Most of the time, however, the moon eludes the Earth's shadow by swinging to the north of it, or south of it. For instance, the last moon on January 2, 2018, swung south of the Earth's shadow. The next moon, on March 2, 2018, will swing north of the Earth's shadow. The moon's orbital plane around Earth is actually inclined at 5:0 to the ecliptic, Earth's orbital plane around the sun. However, the moon's orbit intersects the ecliptic at 2 points called nodes. It's an ascending node where it crosses the Earth's orbital plane going from south to north, and a descending node where it crosses the Earth's orbital plane, going from north to south. In short, a lunar eclipse happens when the moon closely coincides with one of its nodes, and a solar eclipse happens when a new moon does likewise. It's not a perfect alignment this time around, with the moon turning about 5 hours before the moon crosses its ascending node. But that's close enough for this moon to stage a total lunar eclipse that lasts a touch more than 1 and 14 hours. The yellow circle shows the sun's apparent yearly path, the ecliptic in front of the constellations of the zodiac. The grey circle displays the monthly path of the moon in front of the zodiacal constellations. If a new moon aligns closely with one of the moon's nodes, then an eclipse is in the works. Bottom line, a super blue moon on January 31, 2018 passes right through the Earth's umbral dark shadow, to present a total eclipse of the moon. Details of the eclipse, and eclipse times, here. Need more details? Visit Fred Espinak's page. Earthski Astronomy Kits are perfect for beginners. Order today from the Earthski store. Donate your support means the world to us. Time-lapse of October 8, 2014 lunar eclipse as reflected in a pond in central Illinois, by Greg Lepper.